The Rubik's Cube is my stress buster. I've been obsessed with it since it was released in the UK in 1980 by the Ideal Toy Company when I was 13. I mean, all the stats are online. I mean, Rubik invented it in 1974, and as I said, it wasn't really released as a mainstream toy, certainly not in the UK until 1980. There's some incredible people doing world records for solving it. I mean, the record is held by a Chinese guy, 3.47 seconds. I mean, that's just incredible. He just looks at it, puts it down, starts the timer, puts it down, solved. Absolutely incredible. And there's a great documentary I watched on, I think it was on Netflix, with Felix and Max Park. They hold records for fastest average time and fastest one-handed solve, which again are just incredible. But I use the old school technique. So as I said, it came out in 1980, and I think in 1981 somebody produced a little book that explained how to solve it, and I sent off with my stamped addressed envelope. No internet then, of course, so no opportunity to download it, and waited patiently for it to arrive, and made my way through it and could solve the cube. And I started to sort of play around with different moves on a solved cube, and then I was able to see what the effect of those moves were and develop some of my own moves. So I use a combination of the ones I learned from the book in 1981, ones I kind of developed myself. When you ask someone to jumble a cube for you, it's always quite funny, because sometimes they sit here for ages sort of shuffling and shuffling and shuffling, and you think, oh, come on, that's shuffled, let me have a look. And then they say, oh, no, look, I can't let you have it, I've made it too easy for you. Look, you've got 4 greens there. Well, you're always going to have that, because there are 9 squares and only 6 colours. So anyway, it always makes me laugh. But my technique is to start with the white face. I always have done. So there's 2 straight off, and they happen to be quite handy because they are the green whites. There's the green and white that goes in there, so we'll just stick that in while we're there. So we've got 3 whites, all correct. What else have we got that we can put in here? Let's get this blue and red out the way. There's the blue and red. There's the blue. Stick that one in there. So that must be the blue and orange, which can go in there. There's the red. The red and white is underneath there, so a really quick little trick is just to spin that one round, and that puts that in there. And then the orange is just another nice easy one to go in there. So that's the whole of the white finished, and we've got all the associated colours matched up. The next thing I do is solve the yellow layer, and to do that I start by checking whether the yellows are in the right position. So this yellow, you can see with the blue and orange, is in the right place. This one is therefore in the wrong place. So is that one, so is that one. Let's try another one. If I put that in the right place, yeah, it's still not quite right. If I put that one in the right place, that goes to there, that goes to there, and that goes to there. Yeah, so this is the one move I remember for shuffling the corners. It rotates them clockwise. Well, you could say, well, if you're just going to rotate them clockwise, you can go like that, which obviously you can. But what it does is holds this one in position, the red and the blue, and it rotates the others clockwise. So you can see this orange and green is going to go to there, orange and green. This red and green is going to go to here, and then this orange and blue is going to come across here. So the clockwise is like this. This is what it's doing, going in a triangle, leaving this one where it is. So it just goes like this. So the white is still solved, and now these are in the right place. Orange and blue, orange and green, red and green, and red and blue. But only these two are facing. So this is another move that I figured out years ago. If I put those two yellows at the back and do this little move here, so the white's still retained, there's still none. You might have to do this a couple of times until you get lucky, which we've done there. And we've got one up. When you've got one yellow up, if you have a look, there'll be a yellow there, a yellow there, and a yellow there. And that's the ideal situation. So with this yellow facing, I do that move again. And now you can see all the yellows are now facing and they're in the right place. So the next thing I do is fill in the rest of the yellows. Let's just put that back actually. So let's have a look. The first one we come across here is the green and yellow. So that the green and yellow has got to go in here, green and yellow. So what I do is I move that round so that it's adjacent to the rest of the greens, and I want it to go here. So I move it there. That's it in the right place, but the wrong way round. But if you watch what happens, go like this, go like this, go like this. There it is. There's the two greens coming back. Put it back. Always check. White's still okay. Yellow's still okay. But now we've got the green and yellow in there. Now the blue and yellow is here. That's got to go in here. Blue and yellow. It's the same thing, but the opposite way around. I'm going to slide this round so it's in the right place. Do this. Do this. Here they come over the top. And now the blue and yellow is in the right place. Now, what else we've got here? Orange and yellow. So same again. Put it in the right place, but the wrong way around. Like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. And there we are. So we've nearly got the yellows all finished. I want to keep this one out because this is my sort of control. You might say, well, why don't you just put that in? I could do, but it'd be a waste of time. I mean, if I put it in anyway, I'll show you what happens. It goes in and I've solved the whole of the yellow, but I've still got some problems on the middle layer. So that was a waste of time. I need one spare gap in the yellow to act as a control for filling in the middles. And that move I just did is the one I used. So this red and blue has got to go in here, red and blue. So I move it down, round. This is another move I remember from the book. Oh, so there you go. There's the red and blue in the right place. Now what have we got? That's left us with the blue and the orange, which goes in here, blue and orange. So I move the blue down so it's in line with the blue and orange. And there we go. And then finally, we've got the green and orange, which is going to go in here. So drop this down, down, round, 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 round. And there it is, solved. So that was slightly longer than the world record of 3.47 seconds. But I did years ago, sitting in the garden, my dad timing me, kept jumbling it up, tried several times, a couple of minutes, a minute and a half. Sometimes they just fall in the right place. Like I showed you earlier with the corners, me having to rotate the corners round. Sometimes they just fall nicely and they're all in the right place. Cuts out another move. And my personal best, way back then when I had proper nimble, fast fingers, was 36 seconds, which was pretty good for the time. But the ideal cube was absolutely fantastic. This new one I've got is brilliant. My son bought me this for Christmas, by the way. I really love it. But it is a little bit kind of jangly. You can see it all sort of lozenges a bit The Ideal one was absolutely crisp and sharp, and never did that. The one advantage of this is these are little plastic squares, whereas the Ideal ones had stickers, which obviously wore off after a while, so these won't wear off. But anyway, that's me and the Rubik's Cube.